Hello, everyone. Welcome to the FTM Trading Podcast. My name is Brian Dunwoody, along with Alan Asp. Quite the ride in the market these past couple of days. If you look at the SPY, we've been on a basically, what is it? Take the stairs up and take the elevator down. Is that the saying? But we've been falling. We had a green day yesterday, but a little bit of red and indecision. The market's not sure. I mean, it's not bearish. We didn't make a new lower low. It's not bullish. We didn't break the high. Market's not really sure what it wants to do. Maybe it's waiting for the Fed. But these are sketchy times. I've mentioned before that I monitor the tick alerts, basically the number of advances versus the number of declines. And when you get extreme ratings or extreme values, I get alerts, and these alerts go to my phone. And for the past couple of days, I've just been getting text message after text message with these extreme ratings of, everybody's buying or everybody's selling. There's no flatness to the market, which usually, after the first hour or two, the market kind of settles down, but we're not really seeing that these past couple of days. So it's kind of interesting. I was talking with Alan, and one of the questions that you guys have had before, and it works amazingly well with the app, is which stock do I track or which stock do I go into? The app allows you to monitor some stocks. You can pick as many as you want. But Alan's developing a theory, and initial look is promising. And I will give you a hint. It has to do with this 5-minute range. And basically what that is on the 5-minute chart, you just take the high minus the low divided by the open. So I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'll let Alan discuss what he thinks is a good way to narrow your focus on which stocks to go into, which alerts to follow. So, Alan?
Well, while you got your charting up, can you bring up XOM?
XOM.
Now, you see that tight open. XOM was a 0.77%. And I find anything under 1% usually is your best stock to go ahead and trade. Now, in this particular one, that 5-minute high right there is at 72.67, and the stock ran all the way to 75. That means if you would have bought the 73 or 74 calls on a small investment, you could have made 5 to 10 times your original investment on it. So what I found with all my mentors is that what makes them successful is they found something that works. They always look for something that is predictable. If you get 7 stocks, find the ones that are the tightest ranges. You usually works. I'll bring up Visa. Same thing on that. See how tight that range is? Visa was less than 1. And from that high, it went up $5.38 to the high of the day.
Which is about 2.5%. Yeah. I was going to say, which is about 2.5%, I think, from this $5 from 200 is.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, that's the kind of trade you want. And it's a stable trade. So when I get into a trade like that, I'll buy it, in this case, about 105, and then I'll hold it. And then as soon as we get any type of reversal, I'll take profits. But that's a huge move. So the key thing is that you want something with a tight 5-minute bar. Now, I did get into Raytheon today because I know Raytheon usually drops on earnings all the time. I don't get why it does. But the funny thing is at the end of the day, it usually ends up. So Raytheon, I was bought in at, I went ahead and I actually got in at the close, and I jumped in that, and then I rode it up to about 3 o'clock. As you saw from my post, that I went ahead and got into the 91 and the 92 calls. Now, I'll tell you what, if I would have bought it when I was going to buy it, I would have been well over $6,000-7,000 on that trade. It was a great trade. I went in a little bit, I gave it, I wanted some confirmation before I got in. And I'll tell you what, everybody knew what was happening because the contracts were insanity. They were insane amount. At 3 o'clock, your 92 contracts were $1 a contract. I'm like, I got it. Well, actually, it was $1.50 a contract. The 92s were 90. The 92 contracts were at $1.50. The 91 contracts were at $1. And so I'm like, I got to take profits. And I was like, I'm not going to hold this thing. I try not to hold anything overnight. However, in this market, being short, probably not overly that bad a thing. But I'll tell you what, it's baked into the cost now. Your Amazon, your Google calls and puts are so insanely crazy in terms of the amounts. I've been staying away from Amazon and Google because, I can't even believe on the premium they're getting. But I had a conversation with a big wheel today. He's like, I'm going to start selling puts, selling calls.
Yeah.
I said, are you crazy? I said, if you sold Raytheon, calls,
Yeah, you'd be hurting.
Oh man, it's like, so you're going to go ahead and you collect, in my case, I could have got the calls at one time at $600 a piece for 50 contracts, and you're going to lose 5,000. It's funny that the reason I wrote the book is because there's very few people that don't play it that way. They all want to go ahead and do spreads and all that stuff. And I read 3 books this morning. They're up there, but 2 of them on the guys, making 50. No, what is it? 18 and 20%, on their investment. I'm thinking, really? I couldn't get excited about an 18 or 20% return. That don't even make sense. So, I'm looking for 1,000% return, but those are tough to get. I don't know. I think I got, I got a 5 times return, so it's at 500%, on mine. And then I did take some of my gold off the table. That was about a 20%. Because with the Fed meeting coming up, I don't know what's going to happen. I think gold's going to explode myself. So I still have quite a few contracts, but I was pretty heavy on gold because everything going on in the world, I think gold's going to be a good mover. If a war happens, I wish it doesn't. I got to think gold's going to explode. I think it's going to go ahead and go to 21, 22. So we'll see. I plan on going back into gold tomorrow, or just kind of, I'll play around with it a little bit. So, but the app is doing its job. It's getting you into the trades. And the thing is that it's given you a way to, oh, look at that.
This was yesterday. These are
Okay,
all when the call's actually triggered.
yeah.
So
Just so you know, we're looking for lines. Okay, look at XOM here, $70.62. It's okay to get into XOM at $70.62 if the market's going that way. You put your stop under the 70.62 because if it breaks the 70.62, it's going to run to 71.67 80% of the time. Now, it usually won't have enough juice to get past that, but it's another way that I use the 5-minute numbers. And quite frankly, the only losses that I've had, any losses that I've had is all not using the 5-minute. So I kick myself sometimes in the butt. I'll get an idea or someone may have an idea or whatever, and then but to beat cash every night, use the 5-minute app. That's the way to go because you don't know what's going to happen. In regards to what you're saying about the market, since I've been doing this, the market always drops this much. It's just the way it is. And then what happens, there's a fighting period on where people are trying to determine, is it down far enough for me to buy in? Because the thing is to make a stock go up to buy in takes a lot more pressure. Now, obviously, when the market was down 1,000 points, I was thinking to myself, it's got nowhere to go up. And the thing is, I was going to buy right then, but I said, I'm going to wait. By waiting, it actually took a lot of that momentum that you would have had. I mean, 1,000-point gain in a day. I mean, oh my gosh, but this is normal. Why is it normal? Because of capital gains tax and those kind of things that you have to hold the stock. They take the profits, so they don't pay the taxes to the following year. This has happened all along. I don't know why. It always starts on Friday of the first week in January. Now, I didn't realize this until I started back testing this and saying, oh, hello, that on the years that a new president comes in is the only time it does not do it. And that surprised me because I wasn't aware of that till I back tested it, because I'm like, well, why didn't when Trump get in office did it go up? And then I lost my butt on the puts. And then with Joe Biden, same thing with him. It went up for that. And I would imagine it did the same thing for Obama. But other than that, this is normal. And it's very normal for gold to explode this time of year too, because people start panicking because they see the markets drop and then they buy into gold. So gold's a great position to have right now, seasonality. So I hope this helps you. And I mean, obviously this isn't that unusual. If I predicted this, back in December and January and told you this was going to happen, don't go ahead and panic and say, what's going on with the market? It's collapsing. No, this is common. This is normal. They don't want people to know this is normal, or everybody pull their money. And then they'd have no money to take it from, like you.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah. One other thought on that too is that this is actually more severe than I've seen it, because usually it would bounce back off the 200-day simple moving average. That's usually what it'll do, is it'll drop the 2,000 points and come up to the 200-day simple moving average. There's not a stock that I know of, Google, Visa, JP Morgan Chase, Snap, you can just go right down the list, that they are so past their 200-day simple moving average. Yeah, if you can bring that up, this is not normal. I mean, it switched it to the 200. 200 is usually your basement in stocks. I don't even know if anybody even talks about a 500 day moving, but yeah, look at the Dow.
Well, yeah, because we saw a bounce here, we saw a bounce here, and
yeah, that's how it usually works, but usually does not drop through the 200. Bring up Google, Amazon. this is not normal stuff. This would concern anybody. See how it bounced off of that 200 way back there? It's very unusual to go through it. If you bring up Amazon, this is very not normal. This never happens. I don't remember it ever happening. I mean, these are severe drops to go that far below the 200, SMA. I mean,
Well, not only that, the SMA is turning negative or sloping downwards, which I'm guessing Amazon has never really seen that before.
now if you bring up a 1 year, I'm kind of intrigued. Yeah. See, well, it has gone through the 200-day before, but that's pretty unique. But that happened in March. I don't know what event, oh, that's COVID.
Hmm.
Now that's a black swan event. A black swan event, no, COVID wouldn't have, yeah, that would have been, is that, oh, that's a 1 year. No, that one, put a 2 year in. Yeah, see how it bounced off the 200. But you see Amazon, it's always held that 200. It's very unique, so.
Yeah. And like I said, not only that, but this line has always sloped up. It's never taken a turn or taken a downward turn, which it's starting to.
So my thinking is if China goes ahead and invades Taiwan or Russia invades Ukraine, I think you're going to see, 3,000 or 4,000 point drop. I don't see any good in it, and I'm not sure why we're even talking about sending troops. That's going to be a disaster. He got 150,000 troops, and we're going to send 1,800.
Yeah.
No, I don't even think it was 1,800. I think it wasn't very many, so maybe 1,800. Mm-hmm. All right, good, Brian. Well, I got to take off.
Okay, sounds good. Like I said, this is the iOS version. This is the billing part of it, which.
And that's Apple. That's coming into play.
Yeah, that's coming in next week. So get
Man,
ready.
you guys got to get this. I'm telling you, I've really found that this one is the best I've ever done. We're only going to tweak a little bit. I think the percentages are going to help you. I mean, to me, you get 10 stocks up to, you get 2 of them that are hitting like 0.5 or lower. I think those are the ones to go for. But, tight stops. You never take a big loss. That's the key. Small loss. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Alan wants to put the percentages on the home screen or on the main screen. So we'll see. It's not much real estate left on this screen, but we'll see if we can get that in. So.
Yeah, well, what I've been doing is doing it manually. And so the manual is time consuming, but that's how I've been finding my trades, is I'm going for the lowest percentage. Been working pretty well. So, yeah.
Okay, well, you guys have a good night. Have a good rest of the week. For those of you interested, I've moved on from the Packers, so I'm now focusing on the Bucks. Which actually I might be. Actually, I am. I'm going to a Bucks game Friday night, so I'm excited for that. So time to move on to a new sport. So anyway, you guys have a great night, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, we'll see ya.